Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a lesson on real life inequalities. All right, here's the worksheet. You can work off separate paper if you'd like to, and pause this wherever needed to help you keep up with things. Okay, inequalities are often used when trying to solve problems. Okay, number one, Sam is, you don't have to write all this down if you're doing it on a separate paper. Sam is purchasing flags for his flag football team and can spend no more than 55 bucks. If each set costs 5.50, then how many flags can he purchase? Okay. Well, the things we know, once again, if you're doing this on separate paper, you can kind of like do it all together in one box or just in a row. Okay. But the things that are, you know that he can't spend more than 55 bucks. All right. You also know something else too. You know that each set costs 5.50. Okay. So what we need to know is how many can he purchase? How many can he buy, or if you want to say how many sets can he buy? All right. So what we're gonna have to think about is this: if the most he can spend is 55 bucks, then we have to set this thing up like this. That right there is the most he can spend. So if that's the most he can spend, then he could spend that much, okay, 55. So that's why I have to have this or equal to sign. But he could also spend less than that. We could not put the symbol the other way, because if we put the symbol like this, then it would be like saying he could spend more than that, which is not what the problem says. So the rest of the problem would have to say we'd have to take our cost per thing or our cost per unit, which in this case is 550. So it'd be 550 times some number, however many we buy, would have to be less than or equal to the total cost that it says he can spend. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and solve this problem like we've been doing this week. So to get rid of a 550 times something, we're going to need to divide both sides by the 550. So x will be less than or equal to. You could use a calculator, but I think a lot of you can see that this, if you times something by 11, it's going to give you the answer there because, I'm sorry, if you times something by 10, because if you times it by 10, you just move it over once or you add a 0, right? So the answer would be x is less than or equal to 10. So what that's basically saying is he can buy 10 or less units. All right, 10 or less we should probably call sets of flags because it looks like the flags probably come in like a set of two, I guess. Because usually when you play flag football, you wear one flag on each side of your body tucked into your shorts. All right. So he can buy 10 or less sets of flags. Okay. So the way you'd show this is you'd put your 10 in the middle, and then you'd put your circle here so he can buy 10 or less. And since he could indeed buy 10, you'd have to shade this in, right? If it said just less than 10, then that'd be hollow. But since it says 10 or less, you'd shade that in. All right, there's number one. All right, number two. Frances is saving money for a new Kindle. She needs to save at least 200 bucks to pay for it and has decided to save 25 bucks per week from babysitting. How many weeks will be before she can purchase the new Kindle? Okay, so for I need to know, we'll write down how many weeks All right, how many weeks will it take for her to buy the Kindle? The things we know are we know that she needs to save at least 200. So she can save more than that, but we know she needs to save at least 200. And she's going to save 25 bucks per week. All right, so we know that she needs to save at least 200 and that she's decided she's going to save 20 bucks per week for every week, right? So the way we're going to set this one up is we know that the 200 has to be in there somewhere. So go ahead and take a minute and see if she's going to save 25 per week. So it'd be 25x or 25w if you want. Which side, think of it like this, which side has to be greater? The 200 or the $25 times the weeks? Well, since it says she has to spend at least that, then this side has to be more. So it has to look like that. But it could also be equal to 200 because she could just save straight up $200 and she'd be fine. She'd have enough, okay? So in this case, it's going to have to say 25W, $25 times the mystery number of weeks, whatever that may be, is greater than or equal to 200. Okay, so to solve this one, 25 times W, right, means to get rid of that, we have to divide both sides by 25. So W is greater than or equal to, well, I know 25 goes into 100 4 times, right? So it must go into 200, 4 plus 4 more. So that must be 8. So W is greater than or equal. So it looks like this is going to take her 8 or more weeks. All right, 8 weeks will get her exactly the 200, right? And then if she saves for 9 weeks, she'll have 225, right? 10 weeks, 250. So the solution over here, we'd have to put the 8 here. I'll always put that number in the middle, okay? And then if it's going to take her 8 or more weeks, then it could take 8, so we got to fill that in. But it could also take her more than 8 weeks, so that's our answer. All right? Let's go ahead and do what I'd like you guys to do is pick 2 of them on the back and do 2 of them. All right? So you can do 3 and 4 if you want. You can do 5 and 6, whatever you want to do. You just pick 2 on the back and do those 2 as well as the 2 I did. All right, guys. Thank you very much. God bless you. Take care.